2 immigrant rights protesters were killed following federal immigration operations in Minneapolis, and the fallout is now reshaping leadership at the highest levels of Homeland Security. The head of the Department of Homeland Security is being replaced in the aftermath. So what exactly is going on, and why are federal leaders suddenly being reshuffled again? Let's break it down. Rozanna Gasparian here with Maison Immigration. Today, I want to talk about a major leadership change inside the Department of Homeland Security and what it could mean for immigration enforcement moving forward. President Donald Trump has announced that he plans to nominate Senator Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma to become the next Secretary of Homeland Security. Current DHS Secretary Kristi Noem will move into a new role as a special envoy focused on cooperation with countries across the Western Hemisphere. While leadership changes in Washington happen often, this one comes after months of controversy surrounding immigration enforcement and growing criticism of DHS leadership. What happened to Kristi Noem? Kristi Noem became one of the most visible figures associated with the administration's immigration crackdown. But in recent months, she faced increasing scrutiny. Criticism intensified after federal immigration enforcement operations in Minneapolis earlier this year, where 2 U.S. citizens, Renee Good and Alex Preddy, were killed by federal agents. Those incidents sparked protests, investigations, and serious questions about how enforcement operations were being managed. At the same time, members of Congress raised concerns about DHS spending, including a large advertising campaign promoting immigration enforcement policies reportedly valued at around $220 million and prominently featuring Secretary Noem. These controversies placed growing pressure on DHS leadership. So who is Markwayne Mullin? President Trump's choice to lead the Department of Homeland Security is Senator Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma. Mullin is considered a close ally of the president and has often worked as a bridge between the White House and Congress during major negotiations. Supporters say those relationships could help improve coordination across the federal government. But Mullin has also faced scrutiny during his time in Congress over ethics and financial disclosure issues. In 2025, reports indicated that Mullin failed to properly disclose hundreds of thousands of dollars in stock and bond trades within the required timeframe under the Stop Trading on Congressional Knowledge Act, commonly known as the STOCK Act, which requires lawmakers to report certain financial transactions in order to prevent conflicts of interest. He has also faced criticism related to pandemic-era relief programs. During the COVID-19 pandemic, his family's plumbing company received approximately $1.4 million in Paycheck Protection Program loans, which drew attention from critics who pointed to his public opposition to other forms of federal financial relief, such as student loan forgiveness. Mullin has defended his actions and has not been charged with any criminal wrongdoing, but the controversies have added to the broader scrutiny surrounding leadership within agencies responsible for immigration and national security. And that context is part of why his nomination to lead the Department of Homeland Security is receiving such close attention. Because DHS is one of the most powerful departments in the federal government, and its leadership decisions directly affect immigration enforcement across the country. What does DHS control? The Department of Homeland Security oversees immigration enforcement through agencies like ICE and Customs and Border Protection. But it also manages disaster response through FEMA, airport security through the TSA, cybersecurity intelligence coordination, and counterterrorism operations. So whoever leads DHS has enormous influence over how immigration enforcement is carried out nationwide. Why this leadership change matters. Leadership changes do not automatically change the law, but they can signal shifts in priorities, strategy, and tone. In this case, the move comes after months of controversy surrounding enforcement operations, spending decisions, and internal disagreements within DHS. Some officials believe the department needs stronger coordination. Others see the change as an attempt to reset the conversation around immigration enforcement after several high-profile incidents this year. What immigrants and families should focus on. For immigrants and families across the United States, the most important thing to do is to remember that leadership changes in Washington do not immediately change your rights. Everyone in the United States, regardless of immigration status, has constitutional protections. Staying informed and seeking qualified legal guidance is always important during times of political transition. At Maison Immigration, we will continue to follow these developments closely and help explain what they mean for immigrants, families, and communities. If you have questions about immigration law or your legal options, you can learn more at maisonimmigration.com or call our office at 661-322-6776. And if you found this update helpful, follow us for more information about immigration law, policy changes, and your rights.